Well, good morning. Today is Friday, April 9th, and it's time for our WW weekly meeting highlights. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? But we're going to start off with the revelation of how I did this past week. So let's take a look and see how I did. Very discouraged, 1.6. I know that everyone's going to tell me, well, Easter was Sunday. You know what? I stayed on track on Sunday. I bought a Godiva Easter bunny for myself, and I scanned it and tracked it. It was 7 points. I went to my son's house for breakfast. I had just some French toast and some bacon and a glass of orange juice. And then I didn't eat a lunch because I had the bunny. And then for dinner, I had some chicken. So I mean, I ended the day on Easter Sunday with 28 points. I get 23 points on the blue plan. I'm not making excuses. I don't understand what's going on with my body right now. I do have some thyroid issues where I'm not on medication for it. I did some scans and things like that this past summer, and they were going to keep an eye on it. So I called the doctor this morning, the the guy that does your thyroid, endocrinologist. It wouldn't be Sandy if I couldn't pronounce the word. Endocrinologist. The guy that takes care of your thyroid. I'll just say it that way. But anyway, and I didn't realize that he had already set up some appointments. I was supposed to go after 6 months, which I'm pretty not that far off because I went in August. So I probably should have went last month. But anyway, he has already ordered me some blood work, and I have an appointment to go at the end of the month. I can only think that it must be some, other than my metabolism, which I do think is slowing down as I get older. I do eat 3 meals a day, whereas before when I was losing weight, I was only eating 2 meals a day. I just got to figure out what's going on. So anyway, as you saw, I had a 1.6 gain. I still have a total loss, which I'm very proud of 85.4 pounds. My best loss was 95.2. I know I'm not comparing that. I told you I wasn't going to do that anymore, but I'm just putting that in correlation for what I'm going to say next. Is that I had always told myself that I was never going to get more than 10 pounds. I was never going to gain more than 10 pounds. And with the 85.4 that I have lost right now and the 95.2, which is my best lost, that puts me at 9.8 pounds. So I'm 0.2 away from my own limited goal that I set of not allowing myself to gain more than 10 pounds. After I've gained this almost 10 pounds now, I have realized that that's too big of a leeway to give myself. I have to cut it back to 5 pounds. So, and I'm not setting myself up to say, well, you know what, you've reached a certain point of this number, now you can gain 5 pounds. No, my thought is that's when I'm really going to get concerned, because I never want to get back to my highest weight, which was 304.2 pounds. Oh my gosh, I even hate saying that out loud, but sometimes you just have to say the number out loud just to realize how much weight you've lost. Because like I weighed myself this morning, I was 218.8. So I'm really proud of the fact that I'm under the 220s, although I want to be lower, obviously. And I'm just working on myself. I'm a work in progress, I guess. But anyway, enough about that. The weekly technique this week is how to do what you want and quit doing things you don't. This is true of all things in life. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. It tells us, try this. Think about a regular habit of yours that happens frequently. Take a look at it to become more aware of any patterns or factors that are keeping it going. Then follow this chart. Well, a regular habit of mine has lately been to be all consumed with that number on the scale. And I know that's probably not maybe people don't consider that a habit, but when I was really on my path of steadily losing weight, I wasn't as consumed by the number as I am now. Now, granted, I always wanted to get into the next set of digits. My goal through my whole journey when I was 304.2 was just to get into the 90s. And then once I got into the 90s, it was to get into the 80s. And I never concentrated so much on a certain particular number of how much weight I've lost. I concentrated more on getting into the next set of numbers. So it never fazed me to think, well, like I've already lost, like 10 pounds. It was like I need to lose 2 or 3 pounds, which was a more realistic goal for me. And that was a really good habit that I had because it got me to 95.2 pounds lost. Then all of a sudden, I got close to my 100 pounds that I wanted to lose, which was my own personal goal, and got so consumed with the number, just consumed, that it didn't do me any good. And it was a bad habit that I fell into. And this habit that I had, I have to get out of it. So my habit now is to be concentrating on just getting into the next set of numbers. So I just have to worry about getting in under 210 now. But really, I'm not even going to think of it that way. I'm going to think of 5-pound increments now. I'm not even going to think of a whole 10 pounds. I'm just going to think of 5 pounds. And I'm not going to think of how far I had been in the past, but just at the moment. I'm just going to worry about the moment, and hopefully that'll work for me. Some of the things they tell you to do is to monitor what you need to do. So if you want to break a habit, you modify the habit. Like I said, I've modified the habit of being all consumed with reaching 100 pounds. My new habit is just going to be enjoy your life, enjoy your food, and don't limit yourself to what the number on the scale said, because it's not getting me anywhere. It's just discouraging me. It really is discouraging me. I am never giving up. Never giving up. There's just no quitting in me. I just know how I felt when I was so much heavier, and I'm never going to get back to that number again. So I just have to live in the moment, as they say, and just don't take things for granted, because you just can't take things for granted. To monitor your habit, you want to say, I'm sticking with this habit, and you want to maintain that. They tell you to start monitoring a habit. Decide if you want to break up with the habit or stick with the habit. Then modify the habit you'd like to change or maintain the habit you want to keep. Well, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? Modify the habit you'd like to change or maintain the habit you want to keep. That sounds better. That's why punctuation matters. Anyway, I saw a little thing. I thought, I forget what it was. I don't know what it was, but it was cute where it says when the thing was all done, it tells you that's why punctuation is important, But anyway. So I told you my new habit is going to be just concentrating on now, not worrying about a number on a scale. And I know that's probably not a habit, but in my mind, that's a habit. So I'm not going to maintain the habit of being all consumed with reaching 100 pounds. That's been my habit for the last 3-4 months. It's just like I'm consumed with losing 100 pounds. It's not a good habit. Right now, my new habit, I'm going to monitor it, I'm going to modify it, and my new modification is going to be, let's just lose 5 pounds. That's all. I'm not going to worry about the number. I'm proud of the number of 85 pounds. I'm very proud of that. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just going to, every week, you had a pound. Hey, that's pretty good. I'm only striving for a pound, but, things happen, I guess. They tell you, let's dig a little deeper. The next time you catch yourself in a habit, freeze. What happened right before it? What's likely going to happen after that? And what triggered this habit to automatically start? By paying close attention to what happens right before and after, we're able to see what's making that habit easier to do. Then we can actually make changes or protect it. I've always told you one of my main habits that I've had my whole life is because I'm terrible with money. So every month I'd have to rob Peter to pay Paul to pay my bills. I am very fortunate that I am no longer in those circumstances, but I still do a monthly budget, and I still have the habit of thinking, because when I had to really juggle, I was really like a circus act juggling my money. I always treated myself to something fattening when I was done doing my budget. I still do a budget every month because my money comes in at different times with my different payments that I have set up. And So I have to adjust my budget accordingly. But now my new healthy habit is I just have a piece of fruit or something afterwards, because my mind is still attuned to the fact, okay, you've accomplished that, you need to reward yourself. I don't need to reward myself anymore, but it's a habit that I had. So I'm trying to change that bad habit of eating bad foods into a good habit of having something healthy. And you know what? I feel pretty good. I feel really good that I was able to pay all my bills, and I was feeling pretty good that I made smart choices as far as my food. The first thing they say is to monitor. Pay close attention to when and where your habit usually happens. See if there's a consistent pattern with the time of day or a specific place, how you feel, what you're thinking, or what you most recently did that set up the cues. Write it down what you notice after a few days. Like I said, my habit is paying attention to the number on the scale. Bad habit, bad habit. Your weight fluctuates every day for various reasons. Even every week they fluctuate. I do try to weigh myself just once a week on Friday mornings at 10:30 in the morning with just my pajamas. That's all I weigh in just my pajamas at 10:30 in the morning on Friday mornings. Earlier this week I weighed myself out of, I don't know why, on the wrong day, and I had a 2-pound gain. Threw me for a loop. But I thought, no, I'm going to get back on track. I still lost 0.4 of that, but I still need to I still need to stop concentrating on the numbers so much. The second thing they do is tell you to choose one. Option A, which is to modify the action, or option B, which is to maintain. If you choose to modify it, if you want to break up with your habit, change one thing that supports it. Want to stop your nighttime snack routine that constantly happens while you're watching TV in the living room? Try reading a book or watching TV in a different room instead. Excuse me. I don't eat at night. I just eat my dinner so late. I eat my dinner at 7 o'clock. But what I do after my dinner is I brush and floss my teeth, because even though my teeth are really bad, I don't like flossing my teeth. I just don't. There's just something, because my bottom teeth are so close that the floss sticks. The top teeth, no problem. But the bottom teeth, and those are the ones I really want to work on keeping. I want to keep all my teeth, obviously, but your bottom ones, like if you have to wear dentures or something, I find from my husband, Jim, that the top ones are harder to keep on. The bottom ones are harder to keep on, rather, because you have so much saliva in your mouth that they don't hold securely. So I don't like to floss, is the whole point of that. I rambled on about nonsense. But that's my habit that I have. The one bad habit that I do want to break up with is trying to weigh myself more than once a week. I occasionally do it, but not very often, because I know it throws me for a loop. It just throws me for a loop. And the second option is to maintain. If you want to stick with your habit, protect one thing that supports it. Do you take a daily walk after lunch? Block your calendar for 1 hour to avoid any unplanned meetings or last-minute appointments. I start my day off with a walk. I walk 2 miles every morning. I absolutely love it. I don't consider it exercise in any way, shape, or form. I'm glad that the weather is finally breaking, because I don't walk in the winter. I'm afraid of falling on the snow or the ice. I do not like a treadmill. I do not like, I sound like Sam, I am. I do not like exercises on TV, the walking, the Leslie Sansone and all that. I don't like any of those. So I find that I'm a little bit more idle in the winter months. But checking my app, I see that even in the winter I have a loss. I do lose weight. So I don't walk to lose weight. I walk just because I enjoy it so much. And it's a good habit that I do like to take. So I just think that it's stuff that we got to work on, is our habits, and good habits and bad habits. I have I think a good habit of, I like to make a point of every day complimenting one person. I just, some people you can just tell really need that compliment. And other people probably don't want it, but you know what? They're going to get it anyhow. And if I'm stuck in the house like I was through the pandemic, it's kind of hard to reach that goal of being nice to someone every day. But I get a lot of telemarketer calls. I'm very polite to them because, you know, I would not want that job. There's no way I'd want that job. So in the winter, when I get so many telemarketer calls, I can say something nice to them. And so that helps. So that's a good habit that I have. And like I said, a bad habit that I have is, and people are going to say this shouldn't be really a bad habit, it's so much better, but I overeat my fruit, which is a bad habit. Fruit is very good for you, but you know what? When I'm going to have fruit, I can just as easily have vegetables. And it's easier, it's better, I understand, it's better to reach for my fruit than like cookies and candy and donuts and things. I'm not saying that. But, and like they always say, well, nobody got fat eating, you know, too much fruit or vegetables, which is also true. But you got to realize that all of this food, fruit and stuff you're eating still has sugars, and I need to check that in. So I need to break that habit a little bit. But with that being said, the recipe for this week is for chicken salad with blackberries, feta, golden beets, and avocado. I'm going to leave a clip at the end to show you it, and it looks very good. It really looks good. It's 5 points on the green and 4 points on blue and purple. If I do make this, which I'm thinking I probably will, because I really do like this. I think this does look something good that I'd like. But I will share it on a cook with me. I did a cook with me or a bake with me earlier in the week where I forgot I was making donuts and I forgot to put the sugar in it. It was the main ingredient. I already had the donuts in the oven. I had to take them out of the oven, put them. Luckily, they'd only been in the oven a couple minutes to add the sugar. But anyway, I lost it already. I think a 1.6 gain. I think I said 1.8 earlier. It was a 1.6 gain. So a total loss of 85.4 pounds. It is what it is. It really is. It is what it is, but I'm going to strive to do better next week. That's my goal. Yeah, that's all I can do is try to do better. I'm human. As long as I'm trying, I'm succeeding. That's the way I look at it. So, but if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, share it if you think somebody would like to see it. Let me know in the comments below how you did on your weight loss this week, or what's a bad habit or a good habit that you have. So, thanks for watching. Stay safe. I'll talk to you either on my daily vlog or I'll see you next week for our weekly meeting highlights. Okay, now this looks like something I might like. All the ingredients I like. Let me scroll through so that you can see the recipe. It's 5 points on green, 4 points on blue and purple. Actually, I think I got all of these ingredients in my house. Other than the champagne vinegar. But it does look like something I might try.